Kevin in Workshop Land. Hi, I'm Kevin Archel, and I'm going to take you on my journey through the workshop world at George Brown College. I had more than one epiphany moments during my sojourn at various workshops. My first stop was Outcome-Based Learning, the 4-part series. Introduction, Writing Course Outcome, Authentic Assessment, and Lesson Plan. Facilitator duos Susan Heximer and Nikki Monahan did an excellent job of exposing me to the world of outcome-based learning, or OBL for short. It was a bumpy ride in the beginning, but after Susan and Nikki's elaboration, everything was as smooth as silk. Well, what exactly is OBL then? Simply stated, it's a new model in learning where focus is on student. If I surmise the whole concept of OBL in one sentence, it is how best you apply what you know as opposed to how best you know what you know. For example, a student of a bakery school must be able to bake a cake. What good is it to know the entire data of the cake industry if she is unable to produce a cake in the first place? If the outcome is to be able to bake a cake, then the curriculum as well as student assessment must be designed to measure the taste, texture, and the presentation of a cake. In this sense, OBL is akin to reverse engineering, where you start from the end and go towards the front. Another facet of OBL is to design lesson plan inclusive of all type of learners. In order to achieve this, the Kolb's cycle of learning must be followed to a T. Next up, Disability Services Workshop. Facilitator James Jollymore explained in a very passionate and lucid fashion how George Brown College is committed to providing equal access to education for students with disabilities. According to Mr. Jollymore, the Disability Services Office serves over 1,800 clients yearly. Now that's an achievement par excellence. Their educational accommodation include access to adapted technology, computerized note-taking, financial assistance, bursary, large print, peer note-taking, sign language interpreter, loaning of recording device, and the likes. And my final stop was Positive Space Workshop. Facilitator Vivek Shariar's input in this workshop was an eye-opener for me. It opened a wholly different world for me. Not that I was not aware of the concept of positive space, but the degree to which it was taken in the wrong direction by some was simply mind-boggling. So what is positive space? It's a proactive measure to address or reduce homophobia and raise awareness of sexual diversity and gender diversity of LGBTQ group. George Brown College advocates the full inclusion of this group, which is comprised of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer. What did I learn that was new and different from the workshop that I landed in? Well, allow me to point it out. Students should be the focus of learning. If student is the sun, teacher is the planet orbiting him. Reverse engineering is the way to develop curriculum. Learning must be compatible with the application side of things. Student assessment is to be aligned with the outcome. Course outcome must be written with correct taxonomy such as Bloom's. Lesson plan must be in accordance to Kolb's learning cycle. Learning per se and its environment must have access to adaptive technology, availability of computerized note-taking, availability of peer note-taking, the idea of positive space inclusive of open arm policy, the extent to which positive space is violated by some, the problems faced by LGBTQ group, and how GBC's policies help accommodate them. I totally agree with the essence of all the workshop that I was in. There's nothing that I disagree with what was said at the workshops. How then can I use what I've learned in my own teaching? Well, I can use what I've learned in a variety of ways, and here are some salient ways. Being proactive, being a coach by the side, designing a feedback system at important phases of my teaching, listening to students with empathy, laying ground rules from the get-go, directing students with special needs to the Disability Services Office, accommodating LGBTQ group with open arm policy, designing a lesson plan using Kolb's learning cycle, and many more. In the end, I would like to thank Valerie for giving such a wonderful opportunity for me to express myself of this great journey at George Brown's workshop world. I can use the knowledge gained to be a better teacher and increase my propensity to find a niche in the academic world. Thank you.
Created using Powtoon.